Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor for ClassicsToday.com and Celebrity Spokesmodel. And this is our best-selling t-shirt to date. You can get it on the ClassicsToday.com merchandise shop with a link right below this video. So feel free to have a look, and you're going to want this one. I have a feeling, and it comes in multiple colors. And I ordered this one myself. I want to make sure that all this stuff is like looking good. It's terrific. Anyway, one of you just today actually sent me a comment saying, would you do the complete Debussy boxes? And whether they're available or not, just to go through them. And the fact of the matter is, I did review them both as a Classics Today Insider review, two of them independently with sound clips, which you can also go and see if you become a ClassicsToday.com Insider. Isn't it marvelous, all of the options we have now for you to give us your money? And you should. Anyway, let's talk about these boxes, though, shall we? For free, because I'm a nice guy. Well, there's a story here, quite an interesting story, actually, and I want to tell you the story. Once upon a time, there was a yellow label based in Germany that issued something called the Debussy edition. Now, this is 16 CDs, or 18 CDs, pardon me, 18 CDs, and it's really very, very, very good. I mean, is it still available? I have no idea. In fact, why don't we check? Shall we look? I'm going to do it as we speak. I'm going to look at Amazon just for fun. And let's just see here. Debussy edition. And we search. And oh, look, there it was. But it's no longer in print. You can stream it. But no, it is gone. Totally gone, as I suspected it would be. And I think that's a terrible shame. Why? Because it's very, very good. Let me tell you what's in it. So for the first two discs, it's all the orchestral music that Boulez did in Cleveland, which is excellent. It's fantastic. Very, very, very good. And then you get the piano fantasy with what's this guy's name? Jean-Rudolph Carr's and Alexander Gibson. Remember that one? And the dances for harp and orchestra with Haitink and Vera Boddings. These are Phillips things or Decca that are appearing on Deutsche Grammophon now. And Van Bynum doing Kama and the Berceuse Heroique and Kama and the Danser with Chailly. It's all very good. Top-notch stuff. It's lots of famous names I just dropped there, right? So you don't have anything to worry about. They're very good. And then you get the Image in Children's Corner with Michelangeli, the Etudes with Uchida, which are fantastic. All the little works with Zoltán Kocis, which is fantastic. And and the Preludes are with Christian Zimmerman, which are terrific. I mean, this is all top-notch stuff, right? And the Kontarsky brothers do the music for four hands or 8 feet and 2 pianos and, that stuff. Multiple keyboard and appendages playing those keyboards. And you've got the string quartet with the Mellows Quartet and the violin sonata with Dumay and Pirish, and the cello sonata with Maisky and Argerich, and the sonata for flute, viola, and harp with flute, viola, and harp people. And a couple discs of songs, not all of them, because this is not complete. Alcermé's The Martyrdom of Saint Sebastian, and the 3 songs of Charles d'Orléans with John Eliot Gardner. And then there's a bonus CD of sort of quasi-historical stuff, which doesn't really matter very much, but it's La Boîte à Joujou with Alcermé, and a bunch of piano works with Friedrich Gulda and some other people. And then, something sung by Inga Borg. Okay, why not? And that's the disc. That's the set, 18 CDs. Very, very, very good. It really was. And I was quite happy with it because I thought, well, what a nice way to get all of the important Debussy. Well, needless to say, it's out of print. And it's out of print because Deutsche Grammophon released this box of doom, which, I mean, it's really loose. This thing is going to kill somebody when you try and take it out. I've complained about this many times. So they released this sucker. Now, this purports to be the Debussy complete works. It's not. It's not the complete works. It's not nearly the complete works. It has, of course, all the same stuff in it that this one has, plus four other CDs. But those four other CDs are neither here nor there. I mean, you get Pélias and Mélisande with Abato, very, very good. There's no Pélias in here. Yes. And, because a lot of Debussy stuff is like fragmentary, or there's some very early stuff. So you have like that early orchestral suite. Here it only comes in a piano version, not in the orchestral version. And there's all those opera fragments that he wrote, some of which were orchestrated, some of which weren't. And none of those are in here. Or none of them that matter. But let me just tell you how they screwed this up. What a mess. So let's just look at the orchestral pieces. Orchestral pieces. You get the Image and the Afternoon of a Faun and La Mer. It's Leonard Bernstein with the Orchestra dell'Accademia Nazionale di Santa Cecilia. Possibly the worst disc Bernstein ever made in his late period. The orchestra sucks. The conducting is dreary. It's just bad. Oh, it's so bad. Why would anyone pick that? When you consider the catalog that DG has. First of all, they did it right the first time. Just throw the Boulez stuff in there. And if you don't want to just throw the Boulez stuff in there, you've got Markevich and L'Amoureux and La Mer and the Dances for Harp. I mean, you've got choices. And as we already know, they were using stuff from other universal labels. So if you add Philips and Decca into the mix, my goodness, they have fabulous choices. But none of them are that. They had to use that Bernstein thing. They must be kidding. Okay, and so then we get, let's see, we do get Boulez in Jeu, and the Clarinet Rhapsody, and the Danse Sacrée Profane for harp. Okay, fine. But it's like, aside from Jeu, the least important things. And then you get the Piano Fantasy with Kochis and Fischer in the Budapest Festival. Very, very good. That was, remember, the filler on his disc of the 2 Ravel piano concertos. And then you get, again, here's the first orchestral suite, which is the version for piano duet. Well, who wants that? I mean, as a supplement, yes. But you want to hear the original, or the orchestration of the original, because I don't think Debussy orchestrated all of it or something, but it doesn't matter. Then we have CD 3. Let's see. We get the Saxophone Rhapsody with Martinon, and King Lear music, and all these short little tchotchkes, some of which the Berceuse Eroique with von Beinum, Kama with Chailly. That's the same stuff that was in the other box. So if you have the other box, you're not going to care about this. And then if you get the Ravel arrangement of the Nocturnes, the orchestral Nocturnes, that is, for piano duo, and we get the Nocturnes for orchestra with Printemps, with Daniel Barenboim and the Orchestre de Paris. Now, not all of Barenboim's Orchestre de Paris Debussy was lousy. I mean, the La Mer was actually kind of shimmery and rather cool. I liked his La Mer. But the Nocturnes, no, droopy. Just droopy. Printemps was very good. La Boîte à Joujou is with Dutoit, that famous DG artist. Come to think of it, there was plenty of pretty decent Dutoit Debussy that they could have used instead of Bernstein, for God's sake. Oh, yeah. So we're at CD 5. Now we do the Preludes, okay? Here we're into the piano music. Pierre-Laurent Aimard? I mean, why? Why would you do him? I mean, they're thoroughly mediocre. They have Zimmerman. They have Michelangelo, for heaven's sake. I mean, they could have used those instead of the Image and Children's Corner. Why not do that? And for the etudes, they have Pollini instead of Uchida, and Uchida is better. And for the Image 1 and 2 and Children's Corner, they stuck with Michelangelo, meaning that, I mean, you could have put someone else there. They could have switched it all around. They could have used Kochis for some of that, I think. I don't know. Then you've got Jean-Yves Thibaudet doing a bunch of short things. And let's see, for Pour le Piano, Suite Bergamasque, the Estampe and the Image Oubliée, you've got Kochis. Wonderful, wonderful. But, it seems whenever they've made substitutions, things have gone worse. Let's put it that way. All right? So then we've got like some piano transcriptions in CD9 and other stuff. Then we have the music for two pianos. It's the Kontarsky brothers. Well, we already have it if you got, this thing, which, by the way, comes in a normal, unfoldy, booky thing. So you're not going to kill yourself trying to get to the CDs. And the string quartet in this case is the Emerson instead of the Melos. I think the Melos is better, but that's me. And you get the chamber music with Saul Gabetta and Hélène Grimaud for cello, and for violin, it's Anne-Sophie Mutter and Lambert Orcus. I mean, the other set were better there. And the trio for flute, viola, and harp is the same performance with the flute, viola, and harp people. And let's see what else we get. Oh, we get some songs with Véronique Dici and Philippe Cassard and Gérard Suzet, who was doing some things in the historical album, the historical disc in the other box. It just makes no sense. All right, so we get some songs and things with this Véronique Dici and various people. And let's see who else is singing. Yeah, she sings most of this stuff. And that's about that. Now, we're already up to disc 15. What have we got here? We've got some more vocal stuff. And I'm not going into it with any detail because it's the same people. It's the same bunch of people. So we got the Peleas, the Abbado Peleas, a Mélisande, which is quite fine. I still can't believe there isn't a Peleas in this other thing. I'm just looking at it. Oh, it is. I'm sorry. With Abbado. I knew it because I wrote the review. That's what I said. It was making me crazy. Yeah, it's in here. The Peleas with Abbado. So you get the same Peleas. It's not like they don't have options for that either. All right. And you get the Ensemble Martyrdom of Saint Sebastian. Remember, that's in the other set. And some other stuff here. Oh, the three songs of Charles d'Orléans with John Elliott Gardner, which is also in the other set. And let's see, what do we have? The Cantata, The Gladiator. Well, that's in here. The Brussels Philharmonic under Hervé Niquet. And L'Enfant Prodigue with Hervé Niquet. And two little bits of the Fall of the House of Usher. And then we get the Ensemble orchestration of the six Epigraphes Antiques. And what is this historical stuff? Oh, yeah, this is the historical stuff. I love this historical stuff. Do you know what they think is historical? Karajan's La Mer. I kid you not. Karajan's Berlin Phil, Deutsche Grammophon, La Mer. Famous La Mer. I'm not particularly fond of it, but it's a famous La Mer. Well, that's apparently historical. The Iberia, this is with Pierre Dervaux and the Concert Cologne Orchestra. That's historical, and that's quite fine. And then there's some of the other stuff that you found, piano things with Sviatoslav Richter and Children's Corner with Gino Ciani and the La Salle Quartet doing the string quartet. That's historical. I don't get it. The Violin Sonata with Oistrakh and Frieda Bauer. And let's see what else. The Prodigal Son with somebody and something. Oh, and Engelbrecht. Oh my goodness, Engelbrecht. First release on CD, according to them, for some of this stuff. And then there's a DVD of Peleas with Pierre Boulez. So you get two Peleases, or Peleace, as we say in Latin. And that's it. That's the whole thing. It's just kind of a mess. It really is. Or let's put it this way. It just was never as good in terms of selection as this thing originally. But this they deleted, and this thing they kept. So that leaves us with a choice. What are you going to do? Are you going to get this one? Are you going to get this one? Well, I have the answer. The answer is get this one, the one on Warner, which is much better. First of all, it's really complete. When they say complete, they mean complete. It's complete. I mean, Debussy, like all of these composers, they wrote tons of things. There are versions of things. There's all kinds of stuff. But essentially, this is vastly more complete, and nothing really important got left out. And you get some really fascinating stuff in here. Let me tell you. Let's talk about what's in here. Should we go through the discs? This is 33 discs. as opposed to, what was this? This was like, what, 22 or something? Yeah, 22 and 2 DVDs. This is 33 CDs. So you can see how relatively more complete this one is. I mean, really, seriously, more complete. Let's see now. What have we got? Oh, they start with piano music on this one. And the piano music's rather interesting because they've got all kinds of cool French piano specialists in here. We can do this a couple of ways. Yeah, it's easier to just go through the booklet. Let's go through the booklet. So piano works. I'm only talking about major ones here, not all the little stuff. But you've got, let's see, Aldo Ciccolini, Cécile Housset, doing, what, 7 through 10? 7 through 10, the Sweet Bergamasque and that stuff. And Michel Baroff, which is, a nice little collection of people. And for the Image and Children's Corner and those people, you have Samson Francois, who's wonderful, and Yuri Egorov. Yeah, they have all of Yuri Egorov's Debussy back here, which is really, really great. That's so nice. And also, let's see, Debussy's transcription of Schumann at the Fountain, Springbrunnen from 12 four-handed clavier pieces for big and little kids. So that's kind of cool, and that's with, who's doing that? My goodness, it's Jean-Pierre Armengaud. Yeah, okay, and you've got Pierre-Laurent Aimard here doing not the complete preludes, which is really a good thing. He does Images book 1, Image book 1, Image book 2, and Preludes and all that stuff. You've got Aimard for book 2 and Yuri Egorov for Preludes, books 1 and 2. Yes, which is wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, it's great to have that stuff back. So you've got a nice selection of people doing piano stuff, and Aimard shows up with a much better effect here than he did in the first volume of the Debussy one. He does the etudes here, and he does them quite well. So that's really nice. And let's see, who else have we got here? Wait a minute. I gotta get this. Okay. Then we have works for piano people, 4 hands. Let's see, CD 6. What's this? Oh, here's the 4 hand stuff. I see. The trouble with these things is that they don't put the name of the artist next to the work that they play. They make a list of the entire track contents of the CD, that they put them all in teeny type at the bottom. So I'm playing it a little fast and loose here, and you'll have to just bear with me as we do that. So then we get CD 7. We get some things that just aren't on the other stuff, like Diane, the overture, which only exists in a piano version. Some of these pieces are really rather cool that you don't get anywhere else. They're certainly not the Debussy version. What am I talking about? The Deutsche Grammophon version. So let's see, music for 4 hands, transcriptions by other composers, all kinds of weird stuff like that. I mean, you have to really look at it carefully to see all that you're getting. But it's stuff that Debussy transcribed and stuff by Debussy that other people transcribed, like 4-hand transcriptions by Claude Debussy, 3 pieces from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. That's really cool. Ravel's transcription for 4 hands of the Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun. I love it. It's wonderful. And so there's 2 piano stuff. There's like all kinds of nifty stuff that you can get in here. So 2 pianos, just tons of it. We're already up to disc 10, and we're still dealing with 2 piano subscriptions. 2 piano transcriptions by Debussy. His Schumann, 6 Studies in Canonic Form. Saint-Saëns, the Symphony No. 2. All of it. And the introduction to Rondo Capriccioso. The Etienne Marcel ballet music. That was an opera by Saint-Saëns that Debussy transcribed, because he did a lot of that work, back in the day. So we have the Debussy String Quartet with the Quartet Ébène, which is very nice to have. And, oh my goodness, the Chanson de Bilitis for Tableau Vivant for 2 flutes, 2 harps, and celesta, and narrator. That's so much fun. That's with the Nash Ensemble. And then we have the sonatas, the chamber works, and I'm not going to go in with all of this stuff. They're all very, very well done. So now we get orchestral works. We have his first suite for orchestra, the Piano Fantasy, first version, and the Piano Fantasy, second version. With what the first version? Oh, this is really cool. Pardon me. The second version is it first? No, first version was Jacques Favier and Georges Sipin. That's a classic historic recording. And the more famous version is François-René Duchable with Plassans and the Orchestre du Capitole de Toulouse, and the March Écossaise with Martinon. So then we get to the heavy-duty orchestral stuff. Let's do that now. We have, let's see, we've got Martinon. Yeah, lots of Martinon. But for the Nocturnes and La Mer, they picked Giulini, which is great because it's a very, very fine performance by Giulini in the Philharmonia. Wonderful to see it back. See, there's some little gray cells percolating there, as there was not in the Deutsche Grammophon thing. I don't know what happened to the gray cells at Deutsche Grammophon. I mean, they just don't always function, it seems to me, lately. There's just been issues there. And let's see, we get more Martinon stuff, doing things like Le Boîte à Joujou, and Debussy's transcriptions of Satie's Gymnopédie. And who's doing Je? Let's see who does Je, because everyone likes to care about Je. Let's see, it's number 10. Is it Martinon? Let me see. No, oh my goodness. It's André Cluitens. Oh God, yeah, doing the two dances and Je. And let's see, the Image. Oh, sorry. The Image is Simon Rattle because, well, I guess they had it and they had to do it. But the fact of the matter is, it's not the worst thing Simon Rattle ever did. It's acceptable. It's not fabulous, but it's acceptable. So you get tons and tons of orchestral music that you didn't know existed. Then you actually get, at Martinon, you've got Martinon doing Children's Corner. That's really great. And let's see, what else have we got here that Martinon does? 1, 2, 3, Printemps, and the Tarentelle Styrienne. So, a nice selection of stuff. So then we get all the songs. And the people who are doing all the songs. I mean, it's just the who's who of French leader singers. It's partly that EMI set, that had you've got Mady Mesplay and Nathalie Desai and Veronique Jean and Ellie Ameling and Barbara Hendricks and the list goes on and on and on. My goodness, Gérard Souzet, of course, Michel Command. Like famous people with their accompanists. So you get all these songs. It's a lot of stuff. And we're up to CD 23, there's more songs. Choral Works. So we get The Gladiator and we get L'Enfant Prodigue. And, oh my goodness, look, who's doing it? Hervé Niquet for some of this stuff. It's like, oh, didn't we see him before? Yes, we did. We saw him in the Deutsche Grammophon box. So there you go. And we've got Engelbrecht in let's see, doing the Noël des enfants qui n'ont plus de maison. Qui n'ont plus de maison. Oh, the Noel for children who are no longer at home. Orchestrated by Engelbrecht. And we get, let's see, L'Enfant Prodigue again. And oh my goodness, all these things. So, I'm just turning through here. Operas, stage work. So you get Diane Aubois, Comédie Lyrique, as much as exists for tenor, soprano, and piano. You get Rodrigue et Chemin. This is the complete 3-act opera, arranged by Richard Langham Smith and orchestrated by Edison Denisov. The whole blasted thing. I mean, that's really something, or as much as he wrote of it. Act 1, 2, and 3, all of it orchestrated with the Opera de Lyon, Kent Nagano. Remember that? That was that 2-disc set that came out on Irado, I believe, at the time. Now, the Pelias is kind of interesting because you really would think that they might have chosen Carillon, but they didn't. They picked Armin Jordan. And I think that was actually a very fine choice. It's with the Monte Carlo Opera Orchestra, with Melisande is Rachel Yakar, and Pelias is Eric Tapi, and Golod is Philippe Huttenlocher. And it's a very good cast. And it's a very, very beautiful performance of the opera. I actually like it. I like it very much. It's nicely flowing and kind of a rarity. It's nice to have it come back, and be revived in this set. So I'm not upset that we don't have Carillon or, and do we have Des Ormières in here? I have to check. I can't remember. Wait till we get to the end, to the historical stuff. And then you get, the fall of the House of Usher, as much of that as they had. And the complete martyrdom of Saint Sebastian. Wow. Boy, that's a big sucker. When you do it all, it's with André Cléton. Yay! You get the classic French people. And then you get the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian symphonic fragments with the Rotterdam Phil and James Conlon, which is terrific. Then we have Debussy, disc 33. Debussy plays Debussy. Piano rolls in 78. And that's it. That's basically it, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a lot of Debussy, and it's very complete, and it makes much more sense, and it's still available. Now, the Deutsche Grammophon complete set is available, and this is available. This is less expensive, and it has 11 more CDs, at least as I just looked for it on Amazon. And this one is more expensive and has less CDs and not as good. So, which one are you going to get? You get the Warner Complete Debussy Edition. It gives you the most and the best. Really very, very simple, isn't it? And if you only want the major Debussy, well, that's DG's loss. They should have left this in print and kept it readily available when they had the opportunity to, because that would have been an easy choice for most people, for people who are not completists. None of these things have text and translations. That's annoying for things like Rodrigue and Chemin and the fall of the House of Usher. I mean, you can always read the story, but, none of these budget things give you that, and we just have to live with it, I think. I just want to take one quick look here at this booklet and see if they... No, you don't get texts and translations or anything. It's it. When somebody does as much vocal writing and wrote as many songs as these people do, it's really a shame. It's a terrible shame, but that's the way these budget boxes work, and I'm just going to say, go with Warner. We don't really have any other choice, and it's a good one too, so I don't feel bad about it. Keep on listening, folks. Thanks for the suggestion to do these boxes. It gave me an opportunity to play a little catch-up. It was fun. Take care.